The traditionally held belief that the four beasts of Daniel 7 are the historic kingdoms of Neo-Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece and Rome is a false assumption. Daniel never states they directly correlate with Nebuchadnezzar's statue. In fact, Daniel outright refutes this. Daniel 7 verses 11 to 12, Then I continued to watch because of the boastful words the horn was speaking. I kept looking until the beast was slain and its body destroyed and thrown into the blazing fire. The other beasts had been stripped of their authority, but were allowed to live for a period of time. From Daniel 7 verses 11 to 12, it's clear-cut that the first three beasts will still exist after the fourth beast is done away with after God's judgment. They are all end times and occur together. This cannot be ignored. The four beasts are actually the recent global superpowers in chronological order. Daniel 7 verses 2 to 4, In my vision at night I looked, and there before me were the four winds of heaven churning up the great sea. Four great beasts, each different from the others, came up out of the sea. The first was like a lion, and it had the wings of an eagle. I watched until its wings were torn off and it was lifted from the ground so that it stood on 2 feet like a human being, and the mind of a human was given to it. The first beast is the British Empire, a lion, representing the powerful and forceful nature on how it conquered and colonized its territories. It had 2 eagle wings representing its reach from east to west, the empire on which the sun never sets. The wings being torn off and standing up on 2 feet and given the heart or mind of a man represent decolonization into the Commonwealth. Daniel 7 verse 5, And there before me was a second beast, which looked like a bear. It was raised up on one of its sides, and it had 3 ribs in its mouth between its teeth. It was told, Get up and eat your fill of flesh. The second beast is the Soviet Union, the bear representing the Soviet Union's behavior during the Cold War, how it shut itself off from the rest of the world like a hibernating bear. The bear also had no wings. There was the buffer of the Eastern Bloc, but the Soviet Union never projected its dominion overseas. The bear being raised on one side with 3 ribs in its mouth and told to rise up and devour much flesh represents the bloody 3 years period that tore Russia apart during the Russian Civil War between the Red Army and White Army prior to the formation of the Soviet Union. Daniel 7 verse 6, After that, I looked, and there before me was another beast, one that looked like a leopard. And on its back it had 4 wings like those of a bird. This beast had 4 heads, and it was given authority to rule. The third beast is the USA. The leopard represents how the USA dominates geopolitics with cunning and guile, leopard spots representing the union of its states. It has 4 heads and 4 wings representing its dominion over its vassal states with its military bases all over the world. The 4 heads and wings ties into the theme of the 4 winds, which Daniel saw at the start of the vision, so 4 corners of the world, or north, east, south and west. Daniel 7 verse 7, After that, in my vision at night I looked, and there before me was a 4th beast, terrifying and frightening and very powerful. It had large iron teeth, it crushed and devoured its victims and trampled underfoot whatever was left. It was different from all the former beasts, and it had 10 horns. Daniel 7 verses 19 to 21, Then I wanted to know the meaning of the 4th beast, which was different from all the others and most terrifying, with its iron teeth and bronze claws, the beast that crushed and devoured its victims and trampled underfoot whatever was left. I also wanted to know about the 10 horns on its head and about the other horn that came up, before which 3 of them fell, the horn that looked more imposing than the others and that had eyes and a mouth that spoke boastfully. As I watched, this horn was waging war against the holy people and defeating them. Daniel 7 verses 23 to 24, he gave me this explanation, the 4th beast is a 4th kingdom that will appear on earth. It will be different from all the other kingdoms and will devour the whole earth, trampling it down and crushing it. The 10 horns are 10 kings who will come from this kingdom. After them another king will arise, different from the earlier ones, he will subdue 3 kings. The 4th beast with its 10 horns or kings is looking like the BRICS nations as they're the new emerging superpower bloc as America's power is starting to wane. It's different from the previous beasts since it's comprised of 10 different nations which are the 10 kings, and also fits the descriptions of being the last kingdom of Nebuchadnezzar's statue, the kingdom of the feet and toes being iron and clay, a divided kingdom comprised of a mixture of different groups of people. But this is just my speculation. Events may not play out exactly like this. It might even be an alliance of 10 different kingdoms formed out of necessity during warfare. But one thing I'm sure of is that one horn or king from this alliance will rise up in the place of 3 kings and make war with Israel. This little horn is most probably one and the same with the small horn from Daniel 8, which started small but grew in power to the south and to the east and toward the beautiful land. So where are we with regards to Nebuchadnezzar's statue? We are still at the legs of iron. Rome never fell, it just morphed into the westernized nations of today that are all built on the foundations of Roman civics.